silence, and then not much counterplay available to that.
It's a bit of a block pick. We do get the Mirana.
Okay, so 2 cores from the get-go. They are flexible with this. We've seen UR play Mirana, we've seen Snaking, and the Wraith King's been both Rezo and Snaking as well. So almost certainly one of these two will be an offlaner, but the question kind of remains a bit where the last core will be.
Yeah, I think if they've favoured anything, they've favoured the Wraith King.
10 seconds remaining.
When I think of VGJ Storm 2, I really want to see some possibilities for MSS too. I think it's like one of their standout players when he's given an opportunity to shine on heroes, and I think Mirana and Wraith King both strong enough to pair with some of the weaker ones.
Yeah. What's left for him? Phoenix, Dark Willow, Shaker,
I think. Even like an ET, honestly.
Yeah, I just want a big position 4 team fighter from him. He really, like, his positioning is really good in team fights.
I think the clockwork for him is fantastic and is generally pretty good against Silencer too.
And Klings.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be against the clockwork.
I don't think Clockwork would be a hero personally.
Hey, it's an MSS hero though. Come on now. You gotta believe.
We're not saying it's strong, we're just saying it's
Suited
It's
men
here.
style,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
VGJ Storm's turn to ban.
Yeah, this is.
That's the Dota Plus hero right there. No more Spectres. You know.
Yeah.
The math checks out. That hero does not lose.
What's the win rate?
They're very skewed towards it because I know like the pub stats at Spectre I think is top
win
first
right now.
or second.
Yeah. Poor Omni Knight, you know. His days are long gone.
Yeah.
Spectre's the new queen.
Spectre is 44% only.
At this tournament. We're talking about pubs, Paul. You know, that's the stuff that matters. Forget pro.
Dota Plus doesn't care about pro games.
Dota
Paul.
Plus is gathering from a more elite selection of players.
Sliding his numbers across
Players
the
like
table up here.
wonderful BSJ who's over in the corner. Like, you know, those are the stats that matter.
Poor guy is getting bullied by all of you. Don't worry, I'll bully you, dude.
I love VGJ Storm.bsj. Okay? He's an iconic player.
Yep.
Yeah?
Just shout if you want me to hit him, it's fine. Yeah.
Or stab him with your pen.
Well, they said the pen's mightier than the sword.
Well, we definitely brought up the idea of the hero for MSS, but likewise, of course, Yapsor, likely his hero, still left over here, possibly going to be picked up this next phase unless they really want to give him something like looking for an opportunity for the Rubik, possibly, but they're going to be out that Wyvern, so someone who we've seen get a little bit more farm priority during this tournament, trying to get those earlier Blink Daggers and Glimmer Capes.
Yep. I'm surprised they banned it out themselves though, because MSS plays a very strong Wyvern himself. It's quite strong against Klings.
They don't have that first pick though.
5 seconds
Do not have their
remaining.
first pick.
I wouldn't mind like a SVG Bane. Have a arrow set up, just give you a strong lane support.
Yeah.
Silence Avenger taken. Bane seems like the number 3 on the 5 position list these days.
That's what I did yesterday too. They picked their Mirana, Drow, and then third pick Bane. Very strong opening.
I don't know if Secret care enough to ban it, but be considered. They've got Silencer for it, so it's not too horrible. It's not too scary for them, but at the same time, it's just good for Storm's lanes.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
Like it.
Ooh. Lycan.
It is like you talk about the Clinks counters, it's like the illusions and summons. So Lycan, yeah, falls in that second category where you run into Clinks with these summons. It's pretty annoying.
Same for Silencer, right? He gets run at by the summons, you just die.
Plus PL got removed so early too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I do wonder if it talks to something Secret's planning on picking, because like right now I don't really feel like they've got plenty of time to respond to a Lycan, but maybe later on they're going to be drafting something that's really bad again.
It might be because they also banned the Wyvern too, theoretically.
That's a good
Could be a thought from VGJ Storm going for it.
Could be an Arc Warden, which I really like to play. Lycan is really good against Arc Warden.
They have played a lot of Arc Warden, by the way.
That's
both midpoint and ace.
because they've been saving it.
So you know who pairs really well with Silencer, and who does really poorly versus Winter Wyvern? That Meepo hero.
Oh,
Interesting. 10th pick overall. You have to be a little cautious here.
I mean, the thing is, as well, is even if they don't pick it, it's put it in the mind, isn't it?
Yeah.
For sure. They have to be
Gotta
thinking
start.
about that when they ban the Wyvern. I'm positive.
But the VG band is the Wyvern.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. When they ban that Wyvern, they have to be thinking, okay, but we have to be ready because now that's
ready
not an
for the
option
Meepo?
for us versus the Meepo.
Right, yeah. And then mid one could be on the Klings. Klings
Or-
goes quite well with me.
It could be that SVG's decided to try and bait the Meepo out by banning
Possibly. So
Yep.
Secret will get the
Shaker.
Shaker.
Yeah. So they went back for this again. It's been a very popular 4 pick for them.
Very popular for the arena as well.
Pretty sure they just did it for the arena actually. They don't care about winning.
Puppy's good.
We need an ogre on the other side now for the alternate clap, don't we?
Hey, SVG's been into it.
Ogre Barat? Oh, that's
possible.
That works, right?
You say Ogre, I was like,
that works.
Yeah.
It's a good ogre game.
It's not
Perfect for the crowd, perfect for VGJ.
It's true. I mean, it actually is a tougher Bane game now too, right? Because now you're picking Bane into Silencer. I can live with that, but Bane into Silencer and Earthshaker is pretty risky.
Maybe we go back to your suggestion with the clockwork.
Boo.
No.
You should like summon a tombstone and start like drumming on it.
Okay, so melee support, pretty weak in lane, the Shaker, so definitely someone Undying could abuse if they wind up together.
There is 1 win, 2 losses on the Shaker. As much as they were prioritizing and picking it early in some of their drafts, I haven't been sold on the hero. Even VGJ Gaming, I think, were kind of exposed because they were first to picking it. They did have some great highlight clips, but when they versed the tough teams, they got crushed in the lanes.
But there's also this concept that Klings actually count as Undying, right?
Right.
What do you think about that?
If Clinks is hitting your Tombstone, it's probably okay based on the other heroes. They're going to be with a Clinks.
Yeah, but it's also a bait because if you waste your entire strafe on a tombstone, you're worthless in a team fight.
Exactly.
So it's like a misunderstood concept, you know? Everyone thinks Klings is a hard counter to Undying. I actually don't think so.
Well, there's the Ogre, SVG's most played hero, in fact.
You know,
But he's not going to be on Undying.
you know who's a counter to the Tombstone?
Meepo.
Meepo.
Let's keep talking about Meepo. See, look, I feel like this draft, it puts them in a place where they can pick Meepo and also can pick a mid-1 hero last. You know, Necro, flexible lanes, Clinks, same thing. They've mostly done ace on Necro with Fata on the Clinks, so it kind of leads you to think it's a mid-1 last pick, but if they want to, mid-1 can play whatever. This guy has a huge hero pool.
They've actually had 4 games in the group stages with ace on the clink.
There you go.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of those, I believe, though.
They lost all of those.
Okay, not a lot of them. I correct you.
All of them, unfortunately, yes.
Man, that's where I feel like got to second guess putting that hero on ace, as good as he is on the hero in the past. Yeah.
So this is where we often run into our safety mid hero in one of these 2 picks. For the team that does not get to end the draft here. Do you think you're fine with the Moran and Wraith King, or do we need one of those classic like DKs?
You are Moran. It just seems like a classic combo. He likes the hero. Suits him.
Played it a lot here.
I would have liked to see Tiny too, very good against the Necro, but then the 3 cores. I mean, they go well into late game actually, but it's not really...
Is Moran enough to deal with Necro this game? I feel like...
I think not. Yeah, that's why I wanted to see a Tiny. Just to burst him down.
What if they put the Marana on Rezo
Possible.
and then go TA?
I think that's not a good...
You don't want to have
doesn't deal with the
TA...
Necro or Clinks very well.
You don't want to have TA if they didn't show their mid, because it's very risky.
Turn to battle.
Keeper of...
That's an MSS hero.
That's MSS in a nutshell, yeah.
This hero is unbeaten. It's, I want to say 3-0 so far. It has only come out once for Liquid, once for Storm, and once for third team Spawn.
So it's Wraith King Cobble. Very
It's
strong
a scary lane.
Blinding Light is one of the best spells to me in Dota. Like it can just absolutely destroy a
against
team's
people.
fight.
Blinding Light against Clinks. You have Mana Leak for the Necrophos, which can be really annoying. It's a scary lane as well. I feel like this has been a criminally underpicked hero.
And they have no gap close. Kotl or Keeper of the Light is just scared of gap close and they have like none of it. Like a last pick Storm could be really good for Secret too. Mid-1 Storm, mid-1 Ember.
Yeah, he's got a lot of options left here.
Yeah.
They don't have a whole lot of catch either. If you wanted to go for that Tinker too to try and keep up with the possible creep push from VGJ Storm, I think that's very risky actually.
Yeah. They have a lot of potentially game-winning 10th picks right now.
Yeah. It really depends on what Storm pick.
It
Much
looks
as
like
we can theory craft what it might be, Secret don't know what it is until Storm see what.
I feel like it's going to be a DK or something really safe like that. I feel
For-
like they're going to
for
try and
Storm.
like
Has to be.
for Storm. I think they're going to go like DK and try and use this Coddle kind of timed push.
Yeah, it has to be. You don't want to pick a risky hero. Maybe even the Lina against the Necrolite. Necrophos, sorry.
Pugna DK, same idea.
There you go.
Better against the Necro for sure.
Really good pushing heroes. Lycan was banned out.
What do you mean for Secret?
Yeah, for Storm, if they want to go for like this mid-game timing push around the Coddle. Because Wraith King Miranda doesn't hit buildings amazingly well. The Skeletons are alright for like those first couple pushes, but definitely fall off later on.
Well, then there would be the DK we spoke
10
about.
seconds remaining.
It's tiny, not too bad.
5 seconds remaining.
Tiny seems like a pretty safe choice. Gives them pretty strong lanes, 3 cores that can be flexible with their lanes, mostly have good matchups. Not great against the Reaper, although what we did see with the status resist, you can BKB after the Reaper is used before the damage
It's
comes
very
in.
interesting. Yeah, you can just start running away from it while it's like this, just coming down.
A lot of interesting interaction with that status resistance.
VGJ Storm's turn
The
to
man on the
pick.
Huskar,
Okay.
which indicates something like a DK.
Yeah,
Don't
TA
remember
is the other big hero you always think of. She sort of fits that idea, but then you're also not picking
If
a
they
TA.
if they pick TA and they respond with an Ember, they have like
Yeah.
no answers to Ember at all. That would be a bit scary.
I think DK is just so safe.
The nice thing with Tia is it's just like a slightly better build. Right?
10 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
I think DK or Lina are the like two safest choices I can see for.
5 seconds.
Storm.
Team Secrets turn to pick.
Templar Assassin.
TA, okay.
Or they do go for
Interesting. I think that is risky though, definitely. I think she's better around the Roche pit for sure, so securing that for yourself.
So are we going to see an Ember then?
I mean, they banned out the best counter pick, and now they're saying what are they going to go for inside? I don't think Ember destroys TA.
No. But
It's
in
not
the
super
game,
one-sided.
But in the game, it's quite good.
Yeah, but I guess Storm just don't care about that matchup because if they get everything rolling and Roches take towers, they don't care that they can't easily catch this Ember.
Fair enough. I mean, TA is a hero that can just snowball anyway, even if you counter it.
Well, we've been saying the whole time. We've been saying like this looks like a good Meepo game. They've got the right Meepo. They've kept the counters. They've got rid of the Wyvern. It looks like a good Meepo game. Guess what, guys? Meepo. It's a good Meepo game, or is it? Let's find out because we're going to check in with Mr. BSJ momentarily. Tell us, is it a good Meepo game, sir?
So for anyone who checked out the summit, whichever hero hits level 3 in the mid lane snowballs out of control. The double Meepo or the level 2 refraction basically leads to a CS advantage drastically for the hero that gets there first. Both these heroes play around Roche. They both rely on the first stages and snowballing off of that momentum. We're pretty much going to see the game, in my opinion, decided upon who wins the mid lane, who gets that first Roche, and who gets that momentum. But one thing you don't factor in the draft is that VGJ Storm has Jack. I lived with that guy for a month, and let me tell you, that guy is magical. He's going to bring this team, in my opinion. I think VGJ, you are. I'm fully confident in his TA. I give them this draft, but hey, anything can happen when you last pick a Meepo, and I don't even play that hero, so I don't know what that hero does.
Okay, thank you very much, PSJ. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get into our first game of this second lower bracket series. Gents, Capitalist Blitz, take it away.
BSJ for those wonderful pro tips on a hero that you don't play at all. Fortunately, we've got a mid-master of our own here, Blitz. We've got the Templar Assassin versus the Meepo. No.
I don't play Meepo.
You don't play Meepo either? All right, we're all out of expert advice apparently. But we can at least talk about some of the other heroes. Team Secret versus VGJ Storm playing against a Meepo maybe. You've done that enough.
Yes, and let me tell you, playing single target against Meepo is the most miserable thing ever, just because you know that this hero is eventually going to come online, he's going to get his items, he's going to get his...
Happening. VGJ Storm also knew. What do you think their plan is going up into that Meepo? How do you think they're going to try and counter it besides just the hero picks?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure that they knew it was going to be Meepo.
You don't think so?
I feel like it's way too good in this game, but maybe they have enough burst damage. They do have ways to deal with it. I think the Keeper of the Light is excellent at dealing with the Meepo, just because you have Blinding Light. Meepo's never going to get BKB, he's never going to get MKB.
Right.
So the miss percentage chance is going to be excellent against him.
And the pushback could be really useful at the right time, right before the Meepos end up poofing in.
Yeah, exactly. You can reposition him, so you make his poof a little bit less useful, as it looks like they are going to dodge the TA versus Meepo matchup, and in fact, they're going to put Clinks there.
Okay, so that's got to be a lot better for Team Secret, but at the same time, you always want to be able to give the Meepo solo experience, so we'll see how they're going to be able to create this space for Ace. Make sure he does get that early level 3 as
We
soon
watched
as
them play
possible.
Meepo game, right? The groups?
Yeah.
Did they end up winning that game? They had Arc Warden on their team too.
Yeah, that was a really weird one. I don't think they did.
I've seen so many secret games. Yeah, I feel like they won that one. That was the one that they were behind for a really long time, wasn't it? Against Newbie?
Oh, yeah. The newbie, I think. They should have won that game.
Yeah. Well, in any case, they get a second chance at things, as Spada's going to be playing this bottom lane. They're going to send the Meepo up to top. He wants to avoid the Keeper of the Light, which I think is a smart decision.
How's this matchup go, though? The Clinks versus Templar Assassin? I can't imagine that's too great for the Clinks once he gets to like level 3 and you have those refraction charges, but early on you can see what Midwan's going to be trying to do. Just all damage on Yawar. He's not trying to get CS really at all. He's just going to force Yawar out of lane while he does have those side blades leveled rather than the refraction.
And this is pretty common going for the side blades or the refraction. And normally what you're supposed to do as a TA is you can trade hits within the creep wave, but because Clinks, at least at level 1, is so effective at trading hits with the searing arrows, it makes it really hard for Yawar to step forward.
He's got the extra range, he doesn't draw creep aggro when he attacks you, and so it makes it for really easy trade-offs here, but the creep wave is pushing in. Yawar will finally get his level 2, as he's gonna have to try and get some last hits underneath the tower as well.
Good one already disrupting his last hits. Doesn't get either the denies, but is messing up Yawar's timing as he burns through the refraction pretty quickly. Getting aggressive here. Yawar's gotta be careful, he's got levels of strafe.
Push back, even with being underneath the tower and everything. It still doesn't stop. Unfortunately, he's got constant courier usage. He's going to be pulling in another salve. Must be learning a few courier hogging tricks from Sumail, his brother. On this side lanes, we do have Ace's Meepo, who's going to be playing up in the top lane right next to the Silencer. They're going to be playing into an Undying Mirana duo. That feels really hard for Secret to win.
Secret, they wanted to be able to dodge the Keep of the Light. See how that decision pays off as VG getting into a fight with Ace. Resolution now making his way over. Another decay onto Ace, who's only got 200 HP.
And thanks to the fact that Mirana has so much mobility and that long-range arrow, you never know when Mirana's finally going to join the fight. So SVG felt pretty liberal in his bullying. You're going to see Yapzor try and go for MSS here, who's sitting on the bottom line trying to babysit the Wraith King, which I imagine we're going to see a lot of spamming both skeletons as well as that Rainfire Blast. Instantly, as soon as Yawar challenges mid-one, he pops a strafe and Yawar has to give up.
He does have a DD rune though. A little bit scary that even with the DD, he doesn't feel comfortable trading.
Yeah. The only highlight is, well, with Fisher, mid-one is a little bit low on mana and actually has barely enough for any more searing arrows. One more shot, the refraction is there though. Yawar knew he was going to be fine, but the courier is still a ways away, so he's going to be kicked out of lane for a little bit.
And even though he still has 5 CS, if you just look at the net worths, he's even below this Earthshaker right now.
Yeah.
Earthshaker's got 1 CS, Yawar's got 5, but he's used every single bit of it on regen.
Meanwhile, all that mid-one has had to ferry out is more mana. Pops of Clarity, has a Mango, has a Ring of Aquila as well for the natural regeneration. And that was really the only thing stopping him from punishing Yawar even further. Yapzor really doesn't seem to have anywhere to go. Necrophos is handling the bottom dual lane just fine, so he's just going to continue the threat in a Templar Assassin. SVG going for the suicide will be there before the TP out. So he's just going to come right back to lane, full health, full mana, and just be that constant threat. Finally though, Ace does manage to get the level 3. Puppy's going to be pushed back. Resolution goes for the double leap onto Puppy. Will be able to finish up and gets the first blood. All 3 leaps expended, but Ace, it's a level 3 Meepo. Can't really do anything to threaten him now. Hit by the arrow, he's going to have to poop away. Will be able to get out.
But got him a lot lower than I expected.
Yeah.
With the help of SVG, as the first blood is picked up by VGJ. And they need this kind of momentum from this Mirana. She needs items if she's going to be able to deal with this Meepo. Your ability to Earthbind repeatedly onto Mirana immediately takes away her game.
A whole level and a half advantage going to mid-one right now. And Yawar, again, you said his net worth is really low, in part to the fact he just keeps on having to funnel out salves and tangos and clarities. So looks like he's going to start playing a little bit of jungle.
He has to. I don't think it's worth it for him to just get 1 CS, buy a salve, get hit 4 times, then rinse and repeat.
But usually that means, bottom lane, they are going to be able to get a Rainfire Blast into a big hit from MSS. Bada, of course, heals up a lot thanks to the Ghost Shroud heal, and then is able to get 2 CS as well. Top lane, our Undying is going to be slowed down pretty heavily, and Mirana is very far away, but a high ground Tombstone is going to threaten Secret, and SVG starts wailing on him. Puppy's going to get very low, does finally manage to finish up that Tombstone. Has another decay in 2 seconds, doesn't want to dive the tower for it. Finally, Resolution is making his way over.
They should bring a sentry over. The fact that he was able to kill that Tombstone tell them that there is a ward up there.
Right.
Conveniently for them, it is rushing in place.
So they should be able to deal with that in a bit of time. Fada, again, has to deal with that pressure. Now, he doesn't have to worry about the skeletons thanks to the Ghost Shroud, but still, just the combination of the Wraithfire Blast and then the Illuminate coming in.
Not even that annoying. The Necro still has pretty decent net worth. He's got 30 last hits on himself. Not too bad at all.
Here's the thing about this mid lane. If Yawar's just going to start doing jungle and stuff, most of the time we've seen that with Storm Spirits and Shadow Fiends and all these kind of mid heroes, we usually have a support take over that middle lane and, you know, picks up some of the solo experience. Here, he just already took the mid tier 1 tower. Nobody from VGJ Storm can really rotate over there. It just seems like Secret are really going unpunished for this free lane.
It's because they want to keep down this Necro. Bottom lane.
It's going to be a close call. Fada, not going to be close at all. Snaking is actually the one who goes down instead, and Fada is the one to pick up the kill, so full regen for him. SVG with the Tombstone out has to retreat, leaving that bounty for Secret. Another big hit from MSS. They were the ones who claimed that extra 125 gold from the Tombstone.
It's a big issue because they have to still deal with the side lanes. The Necro and the Meepo represent real threats at all times. This is what Secret is best at, when they can go okay in the laning phase with some of these greedier drafts.
2-1, slight lead for Secret.
The arrow at top lane does whiff. Some pressure on the mid one who's rotated to top. He's been doing this a lot lately. On his invokers, whatever sort of mobile hero he plays, he almost always switches to the off lane so that someone on his team can take the mid lane.
Yeah, and that's where you're going to see now Ace, who's only level 4, is a bit under leveled. He'll try and recover, and he'll just collect farm as the Templar Assassin pushes into the tower and then do jungle as well. No need to really put himself at risk. Snaking, he's going to be the one at risk. Oh, but the Fisher block doesn't lock him in. Yapster's not quick enough to get there. Apologizes to a teammate.
Think about it, this is such a smart rotation. It's hard for him to die. He can pressure the enemy safe laner. He's the highest / strongest hero in the game right now at this point. So if anyone's going to stop Resolution, it's going to be this Clinks. At least slow down his momentum a little bit. So by making this rotation, he can also put pressure on this tower. Resolution probably wants to start getting a little bit more active because he is so strong. But with mid one here representing a threat to his tower, he doesn't really want to leave. And that's going to allow Fada to get some free farm. It's going to allow the Meepo to just farm out the jungle as many times as he wants to.
Do you think part of that is why they put Secret put so much effort to be able to get mid one a good 1v1 mid matchup?
Oh, absolutely.
So he can make those kind of early leads. We're going to see the haste room picked up by Snaking. He's going to go for the squishier silencer first with a skeleton out. Does manage to get the Incant Totem Aftershock to slow down the stun a little bit, but eventually does go down. Snaking just for his next target. But Necrophos, one of the most dominant laners right now. We've seen the power of this hero even today. He just is so hard to threaten because of the constant regeneration that he's getting from all these creeps. Normally, the Luminate Blast like that would just be constant harassment that wears on you. Top lane, Resolution, pops a Moonlight Shadow instead of Leap because of the last word on him, but the invisibility doesn't take hold fast enough.
A nice rotation by Puppy as mid one came in from behind, tries to trap him, is successful in doing so. Just makes it easy. This is what I'm talking about, this pressure that mid one puts. Once he wins his mid lane, he almost always rotates to this off lane tower. This is going to just drag Storm heroes up here that don't really want to be up here. I'd imagine that Rezo really wants to join his team at bottom, or even go mid lane to try to pressure that. But because mid one's here, he's hitting the tower for free. Someone has to be up there, and unfortunately for him, it's him.
Yeah, the Mirana, really the only one with any decent survivability against this Clinks. He's going to have to try and pull the creeps off the tower, prevent mid one from taking this tier 1 so early, but you can see being forced to leave, this gives mid one the space to be able to just focus down the tower with the strength. That's 2 tier 1s gone, and a mid lane dominated by mid one in under 10 minutes.
Yeah, his rotations this game have been so sick, on point. Putting pressure everywhere by being able to take this mid lane. He takes away this amount of farm for his team. They've already placed a ward up here too for vision. Sus is going to come in, the arrow. Tries to time out the bounty room.
Yes.
What is VGJ Storm getting in return? Because we keep talking about what mid one's doing and how free his lane is and everything. Is VGJ Storm getting anything in return?
Not really. They're not taking any towers for themselves. They're not pressuring any of the lanes. I think the Wraith King Keeper of the Light Lane incredibly strong, but against the Necro, it's the perfect hero just to deal with it at all times. You get raindrops to yourself, you get a wand, and suddenly they have no kill potential. Here comes another blast. Bottom will cop some damage. He'll kill this creep, he'll death pulse. He's almost at full HP once again.
Yeah. He even pops a healing salve just to make sure that he's got just enough to survive through any big gank attempt here. But mid one hanging out inside the enemy jungle while Fada's pressuring into the tier 1 tower. They don't have a stun anymore. Once the Wraithfire Blast is expended, aren't any more disables for VGJ Storm to rely on there. So they miss out on an Necropose kill. They're trying to pressure that bottom lane, see if they can, you know, sort of even things out and take a tier 1 tower themselves. Moonlight Shadow's going to be spotted.
And with the
sentry out, they're going to try and slow him down. They do have the last word on him. Resolution
Under attack.
will be fine.
Are fortified.
Dust or anything. Just got to make sure that he doesn't actually get spotted by mid one, who's just apparently content to keep the Mirana down at the cost of his own farm. They're going to pull in. Resolution to this bottom lane. This is one way to make the Keeper of the Light look good, but the arrow, it actually hits on a creep, and now the Reaper's Scythe is going to be able to bring down the Wraith King with no reincarnation. Didn't have the mana, was 7 mana short. The tier 1 tower will survive, and if anything, VGJ Storm got to get out of here.
There's not any lanes for them to be. Meanwhile, while this is happening, Ace is just farming away. He's almost got his Blink Dagger. This greed is not getting punished anywhere. They allowed the Silencer to push out top lane. This is the beauty of what Secret is doing. If you take the mid tower early on, you take the top tower, you allow your supports to have a game. It opens up farm for your cores. Partially just because it's so hard to kill any of Secret's heroes with what Storm had. I think Storm anticipated winning the lanes, hence the TA pick. They've got a Wraith King, Keeper of the Light off lane. But they weren't able to really win any of the lanes except for top. And even top, catch up as a meepo, you just hit jungle creepers.
And now we're going to have double Blink Daggers, one for the Necropose, one for... Oh, the Global Silence goes off a little bit too late. Managed to get the lead down. And Resolution will be able to get away. Cops a lot of damage from that Arcane Curse. Meanwhile, top lane, invisibility on Ace. He's been walking around for some time, trying to find that magical pickoff.
Oh, they've got a sentry down of their own. They see Ace for a split second. But he knows that there's a sentry there.
I like how they tried to play it cool. Nothing happening here, but Ace, he spotted that sentry, did get out.
Opposite way of where Snake.
Bottom tower
They're gonna pop a smoke. Try to get aggressive. They haven't taken any of the tier 1s. The bottom tower is still alive. If you want to win in this meta, you have to be able to take some towers and objectives so that you can open up the game for the rest of your heroes.
Right, it just ends up being kind of one person farming a limited space of the map. Very rapidly fall behind in net worth. You can see that building up. 4,000 gold lead right now for Team Secret. The smoke and the wrap in from behind. Fada's going to be caught here. Wraithfire Blast will manage to catch him with a blink away. They just don't have any instant damage, and now the meepo comes in, already blowing up the Undying. They do manage to finish off the reincarnation. Ace is going to be slowed down. A lot of damage coming his way. He's already dead. You are at no fraction. He needs to be able to back up the tombstone. It's making this a problem for Secret. They do manage to take it down finally. Mid one slips away into the night. But VGJ Storm got a pretty good fight for themselves and will be able to get the objective. Fada tried to go for the denied, but it's UR who picks it up instead.
I'm so surprised that they didn't aim the tombstone instantly. Maybe you were able to win the team fight, if so, but it lasted for so long. And VGJ Storm, they just sat there. They had so many, they just had stuff on the ground. They had Wraith King skeletons, they had the Undying Tombstone. No way that Secret could really take that fight.
It seemed like Mid-One thought with his Diffusive Blade he was just going to be able to burn out UR and all of his mana like he does there. It didn't work in the team fight. It'll work in the pickoff though.
UR still level 13.
Oh, bottom lane, they do get the meepo pickoff onto SVG. That's an Undying down, and already Secret have smoked up. After they got the pickoff with the Clinks, they immediately smoked are going to invade into the jungle. Now they're showing the Necrophos right now in top lane, and they will get baited. He managed to blink again. They just can't seem to get any damage on this guy. So the disables don't land. Now Snake's going to be caught without reincarnation. You can see Resolution immediately going to retreat alongside MSS, who's already TP'd out. I mean, they don't own anything.
He's got to be careful.
Chill out in the trees.
Radiant are scanning.
Missed scan.
Secret's lineup is somewhat greedy in the sense that all three of their cores, they need farm, but 15 minutes into the game, because of how farmed they are, they can create space for each other. Necro's not being punished. This Klinks is being able to do whatever he wants on the map. The Meepo is in a similar position as he's going to go for a Manta next mid lane. SVG going to go down once again to the solo pickoff. You've almost got a blink. You do have a Blink Dagger now in YapzOr. Nobody on the side of Secret is getting punished. 15 minutes in, it's 6k up. They're going to go in for the Roshan. They've got a fast lineup in doing so.
This looks like just utter Secret domination. This is got to be one of the most one-sided games I've seen on the main stage. VGJ Storm desperately need like a big Roshan fight to be able to alter this, but they throw the trap in, spot that Roshan's being done. They just won't be able to get there in time. They manage to get a stun onto, oh right, the push back there from MSS is the call in from Resolution, but with Roshan already dead and Aegis on the Meepo, it is too scary for VGJ Storm to take this fight. They're just going to have to play it pretty patiently and wait for Secret to make a mistake.
They have to wait for Secret to overextend at this point. I don't think there's any possibility of them taking that tower without a fight. As the game goes on, it's so scary as mid one. Setting up for bottom lane with the defusal. Snaking.
And a Reaper's Sight, just to make sure he's out of the game for as long as possible. And immediately, again, they get a pick off, boom, smoke. They just give VGJ Storm no space to be able to recover after they've won the laning phase so hard.
This is such a suffocating style of Dota. I haven't seen Seek play this fast all tournament long. But they're doing it here, smoke after smoke, rotation after rotation. YapzOr gonna run into Resolution himself.
And at the same time, they manage to get the Fissure jump in with the enchant totem, slowed him down. Last word is only gonna allow him one leap to be able to get away, but it just might be enough. Resolution manages to survive through another gank attempt, but Secret still got the Undying, still have control of the top lane. Well, they'll go for the tier 2. Honestly, when I'm looking at the Secret team in this first game, they look like the way LGD was playing. You know, that really fast pace where they just don't let the enemy team, after they've taken a laning phase lead, they just don't give them any room to recover.
Yes, they're setting up deep ward vision, trying to play as aggressively as possible with a single core, similar to how Maybe was playing yesterday. So just running around by himself, doing whatever he wants, while this Meepo just farms out. Now that he's got his own Blink Dagger and a Yasha, he represents a very real threat to all the heroes on the side of Storm. Any sort of jump onto this Mirana is a kill. She's trying to go for a BKB. This Mirana doesn't look nearly as scary without the Drow strat that they normally run.
Yeah. Yawar. Maybe found here. You've got that Blink Dagger ready to go, so he can defusal, attack. Yawar blink away, blink right with him. In fact, he's going to go for SVG instead. Just kind of poking at him. Fissure block attempted here. Cancelled though. Top lane, they do have Meepo who's going to go in for the kill. Managed to find the Wraith King. He's just a big pot of gold now.
Us back-to-back deaths. Did use his ulti for that. Is Rezo going to throw out the arrow?
VGJ Storm just looked frustrated.
They're just not getting anything on the map right now. None of their cores are really playing with each other. Fada. They're just creating no space for themselves. Secret are playing wherever they want. They're invading whatever side of the map they feel like. They're getting kills on opposite sides. They're going for different gank attempts in their own jungle, the enemy jungle. For VGJ Storm, it must feel like they have nowhere that they can play right now. So what they're doing is they're prioritizing the farm on MSS, but blocked his own camp.
Fissure block, and not enough to be able to burn through the refraction. Yawar does get the blink away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
But you know it's a rough game when the highlights for VGJ Storm is them not dying. They're still losing objectives. Every single time they have to retreat, they're going to lose another objective. But hey, at least you didn't die.
Dire's middle
Going high ground.
is under
Still
attack.
has the Aegis on him. Not for too much longer. This one's going to run into Snaking once again. Doesn't have the ult. She's going to blink dodge the stun.
Desolator for the Templar Assassin, I guess, but it is all Secret all day. They don't need to go high ground yet. They've still got a tier 2 bottom lane. You've got a second Roshan you can get.
I'd imagine that you just take this bottom tier 2 tower, continue to control out the map. If you take any sort of team fight and win it, I think you go for the high ground. Otherwise, you don't have to force anything at this point. You can wait for the Aegis and cheat.
You could probably use the BKB on the Klinks between Strafe and BKB. VGJ Storm are going to have a really hard time initiating on him. And they don't initiate on him, he'll just take the tier 3 super fast. Gonna have another smoke up with one of the meepos. And Snaking, they know he doesn't have reincarnation just yet. A full minute left on that one. I mean, this is always the worst kind of game with a Wraith King where you can't even get to your level 2 ultimate because the level 1 cooldown of reincarnation is so long.
Ace threatening the high ground. Aegis is still available for him for a little bit longer.
I like how he's faking out all the poofs there. Threatening, oh, I'm gonna blink on you maybe, but just keeps VGJ Storm a little honest while Secret do take the tier 3. Now it's gonna be a melee Rax. And maybe an easy retreat. Most of the meeples are quite low thanks to the zombies.
Gotta be careful here.
Need to be able to kill some of these zombies. They do have the global silence alongside the Fissure. They hop back. One of the meeples does manage to jump away, the weakest one. And there's just no real good pursuit from VGJ Storm because there's so much defensive reaction. Resolution does manage to come in from the side here. Gets a pick off onto the silencer. Finally something for VGJ Storm to brag about.
Still only the support. They need to deal with their waves. They lost their melee barracks at 20 minutes. Secret, they did take a pretty early Roshan. Can respawn in 2 minutes. They won't have to wait too long. That's a Radiant stun completed on the Necro. Yes, it is. Just so many items filtering in.
From here, if you're Secret, you just control the map.
Yeah.
You just protect your towers, right? I doubt VGJ Storm's going to be going for a push anytime soon. But you just limit the area that VGJ Storm can fall.
I think you just continuously deal with the waves.
Yeah.
You can be patient and wait for the next Roshan. Allow the course to continue to play the way that they're playing.
And with all your blink daggers, like, opportunities are going to be presented at some point. VGJ Storm has to take certain risks to be able to claim some farm on the map. So with all those different forms of initiation, you're eventually going to find a pickoff that may open up another high ground push, even without Aegis and Cheese. But failing that, that objective will be coming up in due time. Potential spawn time starting in just a little over a minute.
The biggest issue for VGJ Storm and getting back into this game is that the Wraith King doesn't have Blink Dagger. So whenever he tries to toss the stun out, it looks painfully slow against the Blink Daggers from Secret.
Yeah.
They're dodging it every single time. Even point blank, Mid1 is a good enough player that he was able to dodge it. So how do you start a fight if you're VGJ Storm? He's so far away from it. He's even switched into the Blade Mail because he understands, like, I am nowhere near getting 2,200 gold in a row.
Yeah. So
he's been buying component after component. He's so poor that 700 is enough for his buyback at 20.
4 heroes
looking good.
huddled around the little vision that they have outside of their base. It's only going to be Yawar's Templar Assassin who's separated from the rest, who's trying to hit the top lane occasionally. He actually TP's in. 5-man jungle. That is not the most efficient way to farm, but it's the only thing VGJ Storm seem to be able to do at this point.
If any of their heroes step out, they just die.
Yeah.
They get caught by the incredibly fast heroes from Secret. Everyone's got a Blink Dagger, or they can go invis, or they can play opposite sides of the map of each other as Secret.
The 5-man smoke is going to run into these heroes. The opportunity for the initiation is beginning to fall. The global sounds goes out, and now that ruins everything for VGJ Storm. The Wraith King's going to be targeted here as a reincarnation, though. They managed to blink away, down into low ground, away from that nasty little situation there. Could have gone bad for the Clinks, but again, Mid1's always ready to go.
Got a DD on Meepo. I'm not sure if that means anything, but they probably just don't want to go into the high ground tombstone.
It's got the E-Blade with level 20 coming. VGJ Storm are pretty reliant on that physical damage as well because they certainly don't have enough magic damage burst. The BKB for Resolution, he can play a bit more freely against all of these heroes.
Ace gonna blink out.
Pick off on Ace would be excellent, but is several steps ahead of VGJ Storm at every turn.
Secret are just playing this extremely well. It's been so long since I've seen anybody die on their side. They have lost cores. Early game, Necro 301.
So we had that
503.
We had that one death on Puppy. That was about, I would say 22 minutes or something like that. And then before that, the last death was around 15 minutes, where they killed Puppy again. That's all VGJ Storm has had.
They're getting worked in this game now.
Yeah. They do have another BKB coming in. They've managed to just kind of like slow the bleeding down a bit. And maybe with those 2 magic immunity items,
Oh,
they
here's the Roshan.
do something. Roshan time begins now.
They've
Templar
got
Assassin
tags
Trap spotted it too.
on Keep of the Light. This is the best opportunity that they're going to get. I think that's why Secret is being a little bit hesitant to just walk in, even though they are so much stronger. That's why they want to take the fight first. VGJ Storm, wisely, they're just holding the high ground arrow.
Snaky gonna be targeted here. The Diffusal Blade burning out a lot of that mana. Does pop the magic stick, but a huge Echo Slam on the side. Managed to lock down 2. Both the supports are already dead. Resolution forced to pop his BKB. The second life of Snake King leaves him with little to be able to chew on. Here is mid one. BKB finally does manage to get a Wraithfire stun onto him. Slowed down by the pitch though. Mid one catches up and claims his life. 3 dead on the side of VGJ Storm. Secrets. Flawless victory approaching here with a 16,000 gold lead and a push into the high ground for the second time in this short game.
They go high ground, take this tower. Not a whole lot that Storm can do. They do have Tombstone up, but to what avail as this tower is going to go down fast. They didn't even have to wait for the Aegis and Cheese. They don't even have any of their major abilities, but they're still going for a Puppey.
Resolution once again tries to go for the quick kill on 2 Puppey, and they get it. Thanks to the Soul Rip of SVG. Yawar jumps in, pops the BKB, but Ace is already out. Bot is going to be left behind, it looks like. Slowed down by the Templar Assassin Trap. And again, VGJ Storm are just left with the crumbs after Team Secret take a big hearty meal inside of VGJ Storm's base. Yapster's going to go for the TP out. He's still going to be found as well. Okay, that's 3 pickoffs. Can they get Ace as well? Mid one will be able to take down Resolution.
Gem on the ground.
BKB trying to get the gem, but Snake King grabs it instead. So mid one is forced to blink away. Ace does get out. Those were the 2 heroes that you really needed to kill. If you're VGJ Storm, the Meatball and the Clinks are worth so much, but at least they have the Necrophos. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to be able to force buybacks and still take a fight too. Necrophos does not want to give up this Aegis and Cheese. Secret should feel much stronger than VGJ Storm at this point.
Secret going to reset the buyback on Afada. They know this is the only way for Storm to get back into this game. Protect the area, wait for Yapster to come back. They've got Global Silence off cooldown. Echo Slam, still a 40-second CD, but the Global is going to be the more important spell for them to be able to start the fight, so that their cores can just walk in, especially this Meepo.
Yeah.
You can get this Aegis onto him. Storm, they'd have a hard time bringing him down twice, but 1 second until night.
And that makes things a whole lot harder for VGJ Storm. They're going to smoke up though. Still see if they can take this fight, win it, they might be able to get Roshan as well, and this could very well change the game around. Unfortunately, this smoke doesn't work for them though.
How do you start a fight? No Blink Dagger on this Wraith King still. You have to wait for Secret to overextend.
Yeah. Seems like one of those times where you just got to position yourself on high ground areas and hope Secret run into you. But Snaky, he's going to be chased here. Blade Mail on him, but no reincarnation. He's going to be worked by mid one. Takes down that Tombstone as well. And now he's going to retreat. VGJ Storm, can they reinitiate now that the BKB is gone on mid one? And they do have a buyback on Wraith King. They can pull him in with the Keeper of the Light if they really want to. But all the meanwhile, Ace had that Roshan under control. Aegis and Cheese for him.
Here's the real test right now for Storm. Can you hold the high ground against his Aegis Cheese Meepo? You should probably just give up the cheese. Doesn't really do anything for his hero.
Yeah.
Whereas it helps Vada out a lot.
He's got a Scythe now for the Disable. When he goes for his big poof killer combo. And yeah, Vada will take the cheese in the stash for now.
I would have been extremely surprised if Ace kept it. That would have been just spiteful.
Snake King hoping to be able to push out the top lane before the rest of Team Secret is here, but instead he may just lose his reincarnation. Fortunately, MSS is there to bail him out with the blinding light.
Dire's top shrine is under attack.
They're going to take this top shrine. Ace does it so fast. Has his Hex completed now too with his E-Blade. The damage is always going to be there for him, so these BKBs aren't even a game saver for Storm. Rezo trying to farm up whatever he can.
Side device stops him from being able to kill Puppey. Tries to go for the trap kill instead. Caught by the Reaper's sight. He doesn't get Puppey and is now going to be dead for 100 seconds. One too many times they tried to kill the captain of Team Secret. And now, Secret's going to be knocking on that final lane of racks. There's still, of course, the range racks is left on both sides, but they are a ultra-sum VGJ Storm to hold on to. Take out some of the traps just to make sure everything's looking good. Mid one starts laying the damage onto that tier 3. Wraith King tries to challenge. Walk away from him after the buyback is forced on that Templar Assassin.
Secret, like they're just going to reset things a little bit. Ace is still hunting. Has that Hex. Probably just going to take down this other shrine.
Yeah, they had bounty runes to pick up, shrines to take.
Dire's bottom shrine has
Team
fallen.
Secret are just taking no chances here on the main stage. They want to secure their first victory in this series.
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
barracks
just
are
blink
under
out.
attack.
Things reset a little bit.
Without any hard form of initiation, VGJ Storm just looks so impotent at all times.
Yeah. They have to just wait for daytimes. Hope that the superior vision game is enough as the Meepo clone
Snaking! Alright, there goes his reincarnation. Mid one has the BKB at 80 point time. Does have the diffusal blade to be able to slow down Snaking, so he's dead. Does have a buyback. And Fada just kind of fearlessly charging onto the high ground, seeing what's what. And sees that really nobody's home, so they go straight for the tier 3. Cliff is already activated. An arrow coming out, trying to move those meeples, does snag one of them. Now SVG lays out the tombstone at a distance. They're just going to try and kill this one meeple from a distance. When the Fisher comes in, they try and focus down the tombstone. Not going to be good enough. Snaking tries to go in again with his blade mail. Already dead now. The Scythe of Ice placed onto the Mirana.
So many zombies though.
The zombies are creating big problems. Now the Echo Slam jump in again, catching the 2 support. 3 for Scythe brings down the Keeper of the Light. Yaptor's up next though. Resolution UR with their double BKBs. Hunt down a support or 2. Ace finally falls, losing his Aegis, but everybody's low on the side of VGJ Storm. Even SVG, who barely lives, need to be able to get back the pound, but they can't give up Ancients at the same time. Oh no! Now the Keeper of the Light is dead. They needed to be able to keep that healer during this daytime. The other support dies as well. SVG does have a buyback. They've got range Raxes left in mid and bottom.
Dire's top barracks has
VGJ Storm are going to have to fight this 3 versus 5, but they call it here. It felt like it was over for a while. Secret just dominated the laning phase and showed just picture-perfect ways to be able to crowd an enemy team out of their own jungle, how to control a map, and just give them no opportunities.